Women Up Radio, designed to facilitate women's empowerment, improve your career, develop your talents, incorporate your passions, achieve fulfillment and success.
Hello, this is Anna Letitia Cook of Women Up Radio, supporting empower women and the girls on the road in their quest to support women entrepreneurs around the world. Fernanda and Taciana are visiting 24 countries, interviewing women, researching the conditions, the business ecosystems, challenges and advantages that exist in each country. Today we're visiting Norway, which is a real change from the last two that we visited. So I'm sure different culture, different climate, different attitude, different everything. So hi Fernanda and Tassi, how are you today?
Hi Anna, you're doing great. What about you?
Very well, thanks. And so Norway, that must be quite a change compared to the other places you visited. It's meant to be so good for women and everything. So what's the general vision of business in Norway, and particularly for women in business and women entrepreneurs?
Which women? I just had to make the joke because that's one of the major things about Norway and other Scandinavian countries. They have a very, very low rate of entrepreneurship.
Really?
Yeah. You know, when you said like we just we're talking about Brazil like a couple episodes away, and of course we have like one thing in common with Norway. We both have petroleum, right? Oil.
Yeah.
But when you talk about like the GDP per capita of Brazil comparing to Norway, it's just like a completely, huge gap. People in Norway, even though they don't consider themselves rich, they know they really experience a very high standards of life. Petroleum and the maritime industry has contributed to the country's wealth. And so people enjoy such a stable economic situation that they don't really want to risk, stability in order to put up a business. Government in Norway is doing a huge effort, not only to bring more women, but also more men into entrepreneurship, because they don't want to be too over rely on the industries of oil and maritime that maybe, in the future not be able to provide jobs and opportunities to everybody. Yeah. So what we found in Norway, like it's a super well organized country, a lot of initiatives on private sector and also on the government to, form the population, not only like to be able to become entrepreneurs, but also as an investors. We found like an organization there that they're educating people because they have such a surplus of cash, like as reserve, that they are trying to make these people see entrepreneurship as a way also to invest their own money.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so there's another side to, how Norway sees entrepreneurship or has seen entrepreneurship until now. And we heard that from more than a couple of people that say, it's not rare when you say that you have your own business. People think, oh my God, there's something wrong with her or him because, he or she wasn't able to get a job.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that seems to be in the mindset of so many people still in Norway. That's, so I would say that in terms of challenge, the business environment for entrepreneurs, changing the mindset seems to be, the first and foremost, the major challenge that they have. And not only for the other people, how the Norwegian people see entrepreneurship.
Yeah. Okay, so the problem there really, it's not anything to do with women, it's just to do with being an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And we also like, we kind of like joke with the women there that we should support Norwegian husbands because it was very usual for us, very common to see, guys like in a business meeting with their kids on their lap.
Really?
On a cafe, and we saw like men talking like, like a meeting. And they were taking care of the kids. They were in the streets. They were pushing the strollers to take the kids to school. And was really apparent to us the participation of men in the taking care of their kids.
Yeah, it really seems to be a very balanced society in terms of roles that men and women play. So that was very positive, and it was really a very good surprise for us, of course. But we were kind of expecting that.
Out of all the countries that we visit so far, Norway was by far the most apparent in terms of like a gender equality.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's in all of the statistics, all of the reports, it's meant to be the leader, the world leader.
Yes.
And that they really just don't have the mentality of one gender or one sex being more powerful than the other. They really do think true equality, which is great. And I know they were the leaders in parental leave, with maternity and things like that, and they're an example to everyone. But okay, so if there's a problem with the attitude towards entrepreneurship, what does it mean to be an entrepreneur? Obviously, whether you're a woman entrepreneur or a man entrepreneur, it doesn't really seem to make much difference. It's just being an entrepreneur.
What we saw is like what it means to be an entrepreneur in Norway. It means that you really got a good idea, that you're willing to put it forward, because like you were able to get a job and be stable and receive good money and have like a very good life without risking, and especially because when you are in like employee status, you have a lot of benefits from government. You have, the maternity leave, you have, the social security and everything that you would have by contributing to the government tax. But when you're an employee, when you're an entrepreneur, you don't have the same benefits as being an entrepreneur, as being an employee. And that's why also it's a second reason, because when you're an employee, you have all these resources, all these benefits that you will not have if you decide to have your own company.
Yeah. So
it's not a big motivator for them to go and to pursue unless they have a really, really good idea. But once you have this good idea, you have all the resources. You have like talent minds. You have organizations, government and private, to help you to establish your company, to help you to grow your business since the day one. You also have like a good pool of people to work with you. Many people, not only from Norway, from other countries, especially like the European community, is willing to go there and to develop their ideas.
But I think it's a major game changer in the story right now in Norway. The government wants to change the situation.
Yeah.
Finally realize that, oil is finite.
Yes.
You cannot rely on oil for, for the rest of the lives. And they're really pushing for entrepreneurship. So we had the chance to interview the Norwegian Innovation Agency, and they are really investing and putting entrepreneurship in another level. And they want women to have a leading role in everything. For example, they are investing in women entrepreneurs. They are, as in so many other places, they are having programs focused on women entrepreneurs. And they are forming women as angel investors.
Oh, really?
Yes. So they are really, they have been really active in trying to change the landscape, form a different mindset. And again, they are, as Fernanda mentioned, they are trying to attract a lot of people from other countries because they know that this will hugely contribute to change the attitude regards entrepreneurship.
Yeah, that's so positive.
Very positive. So they're pushing for that. Again, it seems to be a growing, fast-growing entrepreneurial ecosystem. You have a science park, an innovation park that's amazing. And we had the chance to, interview the StartupLab, and they are, again, really pushing for women as entrepreneurs. They have specific programs. Right now, 20% of its cohort is made of women entrepreneurs. So, you see a different an attitude changing.
Yes.
It seems that all the right players are really trying, okay, we have to go in that direction. And they're all going north. So this is our north, which is awesome.
Excellent. And what's their business ecosystem like? I mean, from what you've said so far, it sounds like they must have a very strong one.
Yes, but of course, it's very stable. You have resources. You have, as I mentioned, all the right players in the right place.
Yeah.
Academia, government, industries, people from other places. They, of course, they value. The thing is, And I would say that happens also of other Scandinavian countries, and it can be for good and for bad. They love their stability.
Yes.
They really love their stability. And, when you start a business, having a good sense of stability, that, the business place, the business environment, it's not going to be ups and downs all the time, leave that for your business. This is a huge advantage for them.
Yes. Yeah.
So they feel safe building a business there.
Yeah.
And we also interview women who are living in other countries that decide to come back to open business in Norway. Like one lady that she was in a startup in the US, in the Boston area, and had this idea and decided to grow and start her business in Norway. Another one who was married and she was living in France, I think, and then she also decided to come back because she wanted her kids to enjoy, growing up on their country. Yeah. And they feel that they are part of the bad weather. All the rest seems to be perfect.
Bad weather.
Some people enjoy the weather they have there, right?
Yeah, we were there. We were there
during summer, right?
During summer.
Yes.
And we were wearing jackets, hat. It was rainy and gray.
Okay.
Brazilians in Norway, we were like, oh my gosh.
Okay, not quite the same as a Brazilian beach then.
No.
Okay. So being as they're so well integrated with gender equality, are there any particular challenges or advantages for the women? Or is it really so equal that aspect just doesn't really enter into it?
No, I don't think they are better in terms of equality, but we cannot say that they're equal yet. Mm-hmm. Women say that they really have a good amount of weeks of maternity leave. I think it's 54 weeks that they can share with their partners. Yeah. But of course, they had to do it a mandatory. Otherwise, men would not want to take his maternity leave because, of course, the decision factor is whoever earns more.
Yes.
Stay longer in the job. I think they say they grew up, even the entrepreneurs' mothers were able to also be able to enjoy this kind of gender equality much more than we see even nowadays in other countries. Mm-hmm. I think government is making a huge effort to bring women to entrepreneurship because, of course, they also many out of their own option decide to stay at home, work part-time or not working at all.
Yes.
Even though it's more equal,
yeah.
Of course, there still is the much more geared towards the husband career.
I never had a problem with that. I was like, no, I don't need to stay at home. Okay, so what about soft and hard skills? What do they have in common with other entrepreneurs? And are there anything that they've had to develop because they've got a different mindset?
I think as for the mentions for the reasons we mentioned and that we were discussing, I think it's kind of hard for us to, try to compare the Norwegians at this very specific moment to other countries that we've been to, because it seems to be the entrepreneurship. It's something that it's growing in their minds right now. So especially for women, I would say. So it wouldn't be fair, of course. Yeah. To their advantage, of course, they seem to have a very good basis to start a business. I mean, in terms of social programs, they feel safe. Of course, they have lots of schools and daycares that they can leave their children, for example, and that goes for men and women, of course. So it gives them a sense of security that would allow them, okay, I'm going to pursue that. I'm going to open this business. So, but again, they still have to realize that open a business would be a good idea. I think that's right now for Norway. They're in this very specific moment of, really realizing all the benefits of investing in entrepreneurship. Yeah. But they're a very well-educated society. So, and they are in Europe. I mean, there's so many positive things that they have to kind of learn.
Yes.
To take advantage of all that.
Yes. Yeah. So yes, because they've got so much, sometimes it's difficult
know what
to take
to
the
do.
next step. Yeah. Okay. And so, is there any key motivational difference in Norway that would help other entrepreneurs, or is entrepreneurship really still too much in its infancy there?
I think one motivation that could serve as an example for many other countries, that is like this huge effort coming from government to really push forward women entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship as a whole. But like there is like everybody's connected and is aligned into have this ecosystem grow and grow more in the next years. Women not only from the entrepreneurship point of view, but also investors. So they're also building up a community of women who will be able to look for women as potentially investees. That we have seen that in many countries there is much more like a pool of men investing.
Yes.
And that's the hard thing for women to get access to funding, because sometimes they just don't get why they should invest on business that women are growing, or it's not like things that they like. So having not only the entrepreneur but also investors, women investors, is a huge difference in Norway in the future years.
Excellent. Okay. Well, thank you very much, both of you. That was very interesting. I mean, I'm delighted particularly to hear how genuine it is about their